build something grand and amazing, something big. Have a large picture mentality about everything that you do. This morning I met with a client who is very involved with major civil construction, and some of the extraordinary things that I heard in terms of what they build and design and develop was really quite astounding. And it made me again realize that we are continually in that zone of potential if we can just harness it and turn it into something extraordinary. I want to talk to you about this way of thinking which sees everything as potential legacy. We are always faced with a choice whether we are going to think small about it or whether we are going to think big about it, think large about it. It is vital that everything we approach is put under that same scrutiny. In other words, if we're going to create a new piece of land, a new project, whatever it is, we need to decide, if we're going to develop something, what it's going to be used for. Is it primarily and simply just for us? Or are we going to do this so that it's going to serve a larger group of people? Is it going to serve a larger group? I think serving is the secret of all success. If you can set your sights on serving, set your sights on giving to the world, doing things for other people in a mass quantity method, you're going to be very, very, very successful. It's very, very important. Here's a couple of examples, and I think you'll immediately start to see the value of this. So we decide that we're going to buy a piece of land out in the country. Well, is it going to be your retirement home, your retirement farm? Is it going to be your place of retirement? Or do you from day one see it as a potential wine farm? Or do you see it from day one as a potential restaurant or as an entertainment destination, a place where people can come, an oasis, a place where people can have time for themselves, a retreat? Is it going to be a conferencing center? I grew up with a dad who was continually looking at buying land and buying places that he could turn into conferencing facilities, that he could turn into places where he could host events. So we came from a place where we were always being asked, how does this serve the greatest number of people? Always. So everything you do in building your business, ask yourself that question, subject it to the same unit of measure. Is this going to serve the most number of people? Everything that you do. It's very interesting because some of my earliest enterprises were all related to how do I turn this place into a rental or into a bed and breakfast or into something of value that people everywhere would value, and that includes just about everything that you do. But there's more to it. There's clock building. Clock building is, you have to decide whether you are creating something that has longevity in the form of franchises or licensing, something that you create once, but many can add value to it. Gene Roddenberry and George Lucas are very good examples of this in the movie industry and in television. They were able to create characters and situations and worlds, entire worlds, that more people would like to see more of, right? So if you're only surrounding yourself with things that are just for you and just for your benefit later, I'm telling you already that has a limitation. it's going to have a limited value in the world. It's only for you. One of my clients lives in this area that I'm traveling into, and he has 3 or 4 residences in and around this place, 2 or 3 of them not far away from here. But what's interesting is that out of those 3 or 4 residences, and they're beautiful, they're multi-story, they've got underground car park facilities, undercroft parking, all of those things are in place. But guess what? I know, sad, huh? But they stand vacant. These properties stand vacant, which is, not the best situation to be in. And he says it, someday my grandkids will move in this area and my other kids will move. And I keep thinking, all good and well, but in the meantime, what are you doing with this land? What are you doing with this land? So, I guess when you have it, it doesn't really matter. It's sort of you decide. But, do things with what you have. If you've got them, do things with what you've got, because you will be given more to work with. Everything is under test mode, right? Everything is under a test. It's like, sure, of course, absolutely, absolutely you can have this beautiful house, but what are you going to do with it? Do you live in it? Is that it? Or do you turn it into a facility, an editing facility, a sound design facility? Do you turn it into a studio, a full-on, motion capture studio? Is it a software development firm? What is it? I'm always astounded by what people do with the resources that they get given. And this is one of the reasons that I say quite regularly is you can live in a place or where there's value, where people around you are extremely wealthy and very, very rich. But even if you're poor, you start converting what you have, the little you have, into something of value. And as you convert more and more of what you have into value, you become the one that is able to access all of those resources. You are the one that becomes very, very rich. So have a big picture mentality every day of your life. Have a big picture mentality all the time. Live grand, but it's not live grand and blow money. It's live grand in designing a reality for people around you that you can share. I would build theme parks with the funds that I generate. I would build places that other people could come and enjoy. And I know that sounds, would you? I mean, they come and trample your. No, enjoy it. Enjoy the ability to be able to give what you have and turn that into a success. Think big, live grand, and serve others. Serve others with your grand vision, which is what I meant by live grand.